On my way to attend a top designer's dinner party by invitation, a car suddenly lost control and crashed straight into me. Seeing there was no time to dodge, the steering wheel was turned by my husband's assistant Tess Shaw. After the car flipped several times and landed, my leg was trapped tightly, and I felt a dull pain in my lower abdomen, ultimately resulting in a miscarriage. My husband Sean Blake hurried to the scene, but only helped up Tess, who had minor scratches on her arm. Lily Hart. "You're disgusting for using such despicable means to hurt Tess." He rushed Tess to the nearby hospital, while I was burned alive in the car fire on the way to the banquet. When I opened my eyes again, the out-of-control car was not far away, and Tess was grabbing the steering wheel just like in the previous life. I quickly grabbed the car's handrail, doing my best not to be thrown out of the vehicle. Only by maintaining my own stability could I have a chance to survive. Tess was protected by the deployed airbag. While the airbag on my side failed to activate at all, my legs were firmly trapped. While Tess managed to open the car door and step out almost unscathed, after opening the door, not only did she fail to call for help promptly, but a triumphant smirk even appeared on her face. I tried my best to extend a brightly colored piece of clothing from the car window, waving it with all my strength in an attempt to be seen. Before long, as expected, a luxury car noticed me. Based on the fragmented memories from my past life, it should have been Fang Qinxue, the daughter of the wealthiest family in City A, and also my most devoted fan. Almost every piece of her clothing and accessories was designed by me. But in my past life, Tess ran away on her own, claiming there was no one in the car, leaving me to be burned alive. In this life, I've finally found my lifeline. What's going on? Hurry and save them. Fang Qinxue quickly got out of the car and ordered the bodyguards to rescue them. My car door had loosened considerably. After much effort, they finally dragged me out. I was so weak I didn't even have the strength to say thank you. But Tess suddenly appeared out of nowhere and threw herself onto me. "Lily, I'm so glad you're okay. I was worried sick about you." When she lunged at me, it was as if she had pinpointed the exact spot, pressing hard against my abdomen. The pain instantly sending cold sweat down my back. Fang Qinxue supported me with one hand while pushing Tess away with the other. She too could sense Tess's hostility toward me. "Are you Lily? You have no idea how much I adore your designs. I was so heartbroken when you retired after getting married 2 years ago. Every piece of clothing and accessory I own is your creation." Fang Qinxue's eyes sparkled as she looked at me, her gaze surprisingly innocent like that of an adoring fan. Just as I was about to respond to her, I heard the beeping sound of another car, all too familiar. It was Sean arriving. Sean practically leaped out of the car and rushed to Tess's side, embracing her tightly. "Tess, how did you get so badly hurt? It breaks my heart." But Tess only had a minor scrape on her arm. Tess also had tears in her eyes, looking aggrieved. "Sean brother, you finally came. I was so scared." My legs and lower abdomen suddenly ached sharply. Looking down, I realized my pants were already stained red with blood. "Ms. Fang, could you please take me to the hospital? My legs seem to have lost sensation, and my stomach hurts terribly. Please, no matter what, save my baby." Fang Qinxue's body trembled slightly, also startled by my injuries. "Your leg injury is very serious, and you're pregnant too," Sean snorted dismissively. "Pregnant? At a time like this, you're still lying to gain sympathy. You've long been unable to get pregnant. So what nonsense are you spouting now?" After losing the first child, because he didn't take me to the hospital in time, the doctor determined that it would be very difficult for me to conceive again in the future. Fang Qinxue shot him a glare and had the bodyguard help me up. "Come on, I'll take you to the hospital." Beside them, Tess buried herself in Sean's arms, crying weakly. "Sean, it's all my fault for not protecting Lily's sister. I feel so guilty. I hope sister will be okay." But when she yanked the steering wheel, I clearly saw the calculation and triumph in her eyes. Sean softly comforted her, gently blowing on the scrapes on her arm. "Of course I can't blame you. I'm just worried about your wounds. So much skin scraped off must hurt terribly." With that, Sean picked up Tess and walked over to me, giving me a look of disgust. "Lily, you're disgusting. How could you hurt Tess like this? Tess was already weak, and now she's frightened. What are we going to do?" Look how severe the abrasions on her arm are. If not treated properly, they might leave scars. For a girl, having scars would be so unsightly. I think you deliberately crashed the car with her on purpose. Compared to my injuries, Tess's wounds are practically negligible. She was completely cushioned by the airbag, only sustaining minor scrapes from falling to the ground upon impact. I endured the physical pain, but the heartache was even worse. I didn't. How could I endanger Tess without regard for my own safety? Besides, I'm carrying your child. How could I let my baby come to harm? Sean froze momentarily upon hearing my words, his expression flickering with hesitation. His gaze instinctively dropped to my abdomen, but that brief hesitation vanished in an instant, replaced once more by burning anger. A child. Lily, you can no longer bear children. Now, just to hurt Tess, you'd come up with such a pathetic excuse. His voice was icy and piercing, each word like a sharp blade stabbing straight at me. I really, after being misunderstood and humiliated, I became utterly incoherent. Tess nestled in his arms, softly sobbing. So fragile she seemed like she might shatter at the slightest touch. She lifted her eyes to me, a flash of triumph flickering in them before quickly being replaced by a pitiful expression. She choked out between sobs, "Lily, I know you've never liked me, but I never meant to harm you. How could you do this to me? If anything were to happen to me today, what would Sean do?" Trembling with anger, my eyes reddened as I glared at them. "Tess, stop pretending to be innocent here. It was you who tampered with the brakes, deliberately trying to harm me. Are you so desperate to kill me just to take Sean for yourself?" Sean was even more furious upon hearing this. He hugged Tess tightly and roared at me, "Lily, that's enough. You're still trying to slander Tess. Look at yourself now. What a shrew you've become. I must have been blind to ever be with you." I felt the world spinning around me, and the abdominal pain grew even more intense. "Honey, my bag is in your car. It has the prenatal medicine I usually take. Could you please get it for me? I'm begging you to save our child. Please." Even though the hope was slim, I still wanted to try one more time. "Stop pretending. There's no such thing as miscarriage prevention medicine. At this point, you're still trying to fool me. Do I look like an idiot to you?" Sean remained unimpressed, his face twisting into an even more disgusted expression. Fang Qinxue turned to fetch it for me, but the car was locked by Sean. "Hurry up and give it to me. Saving lives is urgent." Fang Qinxue anxiously pounded on the car window, clearly seeing the bag lying on the back seat. "Lily, your acting skills have improved so much that even this young lady was fooled by you. However, miss, you seem to be overstepping your bounds. This is a matter between husband and wife, and it's none of your business." Fang Qinshua's face flushed red with anger as she glared fiercely at Sean. "You're utterly unreasonable. Just give me the medicine, and I'll agree to any amount of money you want." "Money? Sean, don't lack it. And there's no medicine either. Don't be fooled by Lily." Tess weakly called Sean over from a distance and placed his hand on her chest. "Sean, my heart is beating so fast. I've had poor health since childhood, and today I was in such a severe car accident. I won't die, will I?" "Sean, I'm so scared." Sean held her in his arms. "Tess, don't be afraid. I'm here. It's okay. I will make those who hurt you pay the price." He glared at me, the disgust in his eyes growing even more intense. "Lily, I was willing to let it go considering you were injured, but you show no remorse and even lied to gain my trust. It's truly disgusting. I also know that ever since Tess joined the company, you've disliked her and opposed her at every turn. Out of respect for our years of friendship, I never said anything. But today I had something to do and would arrive late, so I asked you to go to the banquet with Tess, yet you caused such trouble on the way. If not for Tess's luck, she might have lost her life. Right now, you will apologize to Tess, or don't even think about getting your leg treated." Listening to his distorted accusations, I trembled with anger, tears welling up in my eyes but stubbornly refusing to fall. "Sean, you keep saying I harmed Tess, but do you have even a shred of evidence? It was clearly her who harbored ill intentions, trying to kill me and my unborn child. You're so bewitched by her that you still refuse to see the truth." I gritted my teeth and spoke word by word, each syllable dripping with boundless grief and indignation. Tess nestled in his arms, sniffling softly as she spoke weakly. Lily, I know you hate me, but I truly never did such a thing. How could you wrong me like this? Her delicate appearance would soften anyone's heart, except mine, for I knew her true nature all too well. Sean, seeing this, grew even more distressed and shouted angrily at me. Lily, look at yourself now. Still refusing to admit your guilt, you vicious woman deserve no sympathy at all. Tess's tears welled up, brimming with endless grievance. Sister Lily, I only wanted an apology from you to let this matter pass. But how could you wrong me like this? If you don't want to apologize, fine. But why pour dirty water on me? How could you even say such things about me wanting to harm you and your child? And why did you happen to get pregnant at this exact time? Isn't this just a way to deceive Sean, brother? Sean followed her words and began accusing me again. All these years I've wanted a second child, and you never got pregnant. How could it possibly happen right now? Stop talking nonsense and apologize to Tess already. Don't waste any more time here. My first child was lost because Sean was drunk and pushed me over. Yet today he could say such words. It's truly heartbreaking. I struggled to get up, begging Fang Qinxue to take me to the hospital. Miss Fang, could you please take me to the hospital? The pain in my stomach is unbearable. All right, wait while I bring the car over. Try not to move too much. As Fang Qinxue walked further away, Sean's expression grew even more disgusted. Keep pretending. Let's see how you handle it when the hospital diagnosis confirms there's no child. Tess pretended to understand again, saying, Sean, brother, Lily only cares too much about you. It's all my fault. I'll resign tomorrow and leave the Blake group. Please don't blame Lily anymore. Sean patted her hair affectionately and said, Tess, you're so sensible, but it's because you're too understanding that some people take advantage of you. I turned my head away, no longer watching their overly affectionate flirting. Oh no, Miss Hart. My car seems to have broken down and won't move. What should I do now? Fang Qinxue came running from the car, her eyes filled with anxiety. I was frantic with worry. The pain in my stomach growing increasingly intense, and despair washed over me like a tidal wave. Sean, I'm begging you one last time, just this once. My voice trembled as I shouted through tears. Sean sneered coldly from the side. Lily, what trick are you trying to pull now? Don't think you can delay any longer. We must give Tess an explanation today. Tess hypocritically tugged at his sleeve. Sean, maybe we should check on Lily first, in case she's really unwell. Though she said this, the glint of schadenfreude in her eyes didn't escape my notice. Forget it. Another day you'll have to visit and apologize to Tess. Today, considering you're also injured, I'll let it go. I still need to take Tess to the hospital. With that, he picked up Tess and walked towards his car, completely ignoring my cries. Fang Qinxue stomped her feet in frustration, looked around, and suddenly her eyes lit up. Got it, there's one of my dad's properties not far ahead. I'll call the butler to send a car over. Hang in there a little longer. I was writhing in pain on the ground. While Sean had already taken Tess and settled her into the passenger seat, he drove the car up to me in a showy manner. Keep pretending then. We don't want to watch your act here. You guys can just stay here and waste time. After we get Tess bandaged up, we still have to rush to the banquet. See you. Tess also chimed in with her fake concern. Lily sis, I'm really sorry. But Sean bro is too worried about me to care about you right now. Maybe I should get out first and take Lily sis to the hospital. As she pretended to get out of the car, Sean grabbed her arm and said, Look how sensible Tess is, and you're still ungratefully hurting her. With that, he stepped on the gas and drove away without a hint of hesitation. Fang Qinxue angrily cursed. What a bastard. She held my hand and said anxiously, Hold on a little longer, my dad has already sent someone. They'll be here soon. The pain was so intense that my vision darkened. I could only clutch Fang Qinxue's hand tightly, forcing the words through gritted teeth. It hurts. Beads of sweat the size of peas rolled down my forehead, dripping onto the dusty ground. Within minutes, the Fang family's car arrived at lightning speed. Fang Qinxue and the driver frantically lifted me into the car and rushed straight to the hospital. Along the way, she kept talking to me, trying to keep me awake. Lily, don't be afraid, we'll be at the hospital soon, you'll be okay. But my vision grew increasingly blurry until I could see nothing at all. At the hospital, The doctors quickly wheeled me into the emergency room. Outside the operating room, Fang Qinxue paced anxiously. Her eyes fixed on the tightly shut door, fists clenched, muttering incessantly, "She must be all right. Lily, you have to hold on." After several hours of surgery, the child still couldn't be saved. When I woke up again, my hand touched my flat belly, no longer able to feel the warmth of the child. My leg, crushed by the deformed car door, had fractured and was now encased in a thick cast. The hospital room door opened. It was Fang Qinxue. "You're awake. I asked the housekeeper to prepare some light porridge and dishes for you. Have some now." Fang Qinxue avoided my gaze. I knew she was afraid I'd ask about the child. I obediently drank the bowl of porridge. Only by recovering my health could I find and take revenge on whoever harmed me and my child. My mind kept returning to that evening banquet. It was supposed to be my first important event after my comeback, a chance to restart my career. But now, that's impossible. Fang Qinxue seemed to read my thoughts. "Lily, that banquet was hosted by me with the purpose of inviting you back into the field, to let others see your designs again. So when you couldn't attend that day, I cancelled it. I'll host another one for you once you've fully recovered." Hearing Fang Qinshue's words, my eyes welled up with warmth, and my heart was filled with gratitude. "Qinxue, I owe it all to you. I'll remember this kindness." She sat by the bed, gently holding my hand. Hesitating as if wanting to say more, I knew she was heartbroken over everything I had endured. Sean and Tess, upon hearing about my accident, pretended to be innocent in the industry, spreading rumors everywhere that it was my own carelessness, trying to gain sympathy. Rage surged within me, but I kept a calm facade, waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. As my leg injury gradually healed and I could walk again, with Fang Qinshue's support, I stood in front of the mirror, looking at my thin, pale yet determined reflection, silently vowing to return to the top and make those who hurt me pay the price. Soon after, a highly anticipated newcomer competition in the fashion industry began. Fang Qinxue immediately signed me up and even found top models and the best fabrics for me. During the preparation of my competition piece, I worked tirelessly day and night, repeatedly refining every detail, from the silhouette of the garments to the direction of each stitch. Striving for perfection, on the day of the finals, I made my entrance in a stunning original creation that captivated the entire audience. The flashes of cameras never ceased, and I saw Sean and Tess look utterly astonished. They never expected me to make such a swift and remarkable comeback. Meanwhile, Sean's favored Tess had also made it to the finals. I stepped forward slowly, ready to deliver a grand surprise for them. "Long time no see, Sean," at the first sight of me. Sean guiltily turned his head away, while Tess also looked utterly astonished. "A long time no see. Lily, why did you use a different name for this competition? I had no idea it was you." Tess, trying to ease the awkwardness, proactively extended her hand for a handshake, but I didn't respond. Leaving her hand hanging in midair, the reporters on the scene quickly took photos and buzzed with discussion upon seeing this. I heard Hart the designer has already married Blake from the Blake Group. But what's going on today? Blake sighed. That woman next to him must be the designer he's been promoting. Tess, right, could she be his mistress? Look at the tension between these two. Today's going to be quite a show. The camera flashes kept focusing on me and Tess, while the surrounding whispers kept reaching my ears. Sean shielded Tess behind him, looking at me with disgust as he said, "Enough, if you have anything to say, direct it at me." I applauded his actions. Well done, well done. You said it yourself, so now I'm coming for you." I waved my hand, and the screen suddenly displayed our marriage certificate and the footage from the car's dashcam on the day of the accident. Sean's icy and utterly heartless words were all exposed by various media outlets. "Ah, it's really true. Who would have thought that Blake could be so cold-hearted, refusing to save a life in danger? Look at that Tess beside him, with her sly and seductive face. She's such a green tea bitch. What a perfect pair of scumbags. He wouldn't even save his own child. This man is truly heartless to the core." Tess's face instantly turned deathly pale. She instinctively reached for Sean's arm, but Sean dodged her grasp. With tears welling in her eyes, she pleaded, "It's not like that. Don't just listen to her one-sided story. But her voice was easily drowned out by the crowd's accusations. Sean veins bulged on his forehead as he glared at me, trying to charge forward and snatch the evidence from my hands, only to be firmly blocked by the bodyguards. Lily, what do you want? You clearly aren't pregnant, yet you're here muddying the waters. What exactly are you trying to do? He roared. I smirked coldly and revealed another photo. Hospital pregnancy test results and a miscarriage certificate. The entire room fell into dead silence, and Sean froze in shock. This can't be. How could you have been pregnant? This must be a forged document. Lily, I never thought you could be so vicious as to try ruining my reputation with such methods. Seeing my child's prenatal test results, my heart still aches uncontrollably. Sean, even now you still don't believe me. The reporter's camera flashes were already trained on me and Sean, none willing to miss this major scoop. Lily, you just want to take revenge on me, don't you? Why go through all this trouble? Your intentions are truly malicious. Sean actually snatched the pregnancy test report from my hands and crumpled it onto the ground. And besides, you were in a car accident some time ago, but I was just returning from out of town that day. How could I have possibly encountered you and abandoned you? That's utterly ridiculous. Sean even denied the dashcam footage, falsely accusing me of fabricating it. The originally indignant journalists also became hesitant and confused, momentarily unsure of whom to believe. What's going on? Who's actually telling the truth? The wealthy families sure have a lot of drama. I think it's just this Lily trying to gain fame during the finals by stirring up this whole thing. I'm not so sure. The miscarriage proof and the dashcam footage don't seem fake. Everyone was talking, but they couldn't reach a unified conclusion. I couldn't argue at the moment either, as no one could testify for me. Just as the standoff continued, a voice came from the doorway. Heart, the designer's words are all true. Fang Qinxue stepped forward slowly, walking toward me with evidence. This is the scene recorded by my own dashcam on the day of the incident, which clearly shows Blake and Shaw's secretary's actions. And this one is the hospitalization certificate proving Heart, the designer's miscarriage. Everything is here. Fang Qinxue ordered the video to be played. Coincidentally, her car had completely captured the figures of the two that day, along with me sitting on the ground covered in blood. The hospital's diagnostic records were slammed onto Sean's face. He picked up one to look and immediately froze in place. Proof of miscarriage. External force impact caused the miscarriage. This undoubtedly proves that the car accident that day and his failure to seek medical attention promptly led to the loss of the child. Lily, were you really pregnant? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I truly didn't know. It's all my fault. I killed my child. I'm truly sorry. Sean covered his face and wept. Kneeling on the ground, clearly overwhelmed by the pain of losing his child, yet in my mind, I kept recalling how he had cursed that day, unsure which version of him was the real one. Seeing him like this, Fang Qinxue couldn't contain her anger and rushed over, delivering a fierce kick to Sean. The power of high heels was no joke. Sean immediately clutched his chest in pain and curled up on the ground. You damn scumbag, your pain isn't even 1/10 of Lily's. Yet you're here pretending to be in utter agony. That day when Lily was begging so desperately, you turned a blind eye. How dare you still stand here now? Fang Qinxue, who abhorred evil, wanted to step forward and deliver another kick but was stopped by Tess. Miss Fang, what are you doing? This is a society governed by law. How can you hit someone so brazenly in public? Fang Qinxue's eyes blazed with anger as she violently shook off Tessa's hand. How dare you put on this hypocritical act now, when you all conspired to harm Lily? Where was your respect for the rule of law? As I watched the chaotic scene before me, a mix of emotions churned in my heart. All the past grievances and hatred surged up. Yet seeing Sean's agonized expression now, I couldn't help but feel a pang of sorrow. I took a deep breath and stepped forward to pull Fang Qinxue back. Miss Fang, don't dirty your hands for someone like this. It's not worth it. Sean lifted his head from the ground, his eyes red-rimmed. Lily, tell me what you want me to do. I know my sins are unforgivable, but let me make it up to you. Anything, I'll do anything. I looked at him coldly. Compensation. Can you bring my child back to life? With that, tears still rolled down uncontrollably. Tess was still, Lily's sister. It's all my fault. That day I was injured, and Blake was just concerned about his subordinate, that's why he rushed me to the hospital. It's all my fault, please don't blame Blake anymore. I wiped away my tears, the last I would ever shed for my child. With icy eyes, I stared at Tess, who couldn't meet my gaze and lowered her head. Tess bit her lip, seemingly wanting to offer some excuse, but I walked straight up to her. Sure, over the years, you've served Sean faithfully, doing plenty behind the scenes. In this situation now, don't think you can walk away unscathed. Tess turned pale and stammered, I was just following Blake's orders. Is that so? Then copying my work was also Blake's direct order. I stared at her face, but she didn't dare to look up at me. Indeed, a guilty conscience betrays itself, Lily sis. I don't understand what you're saying, Tess stammered, still trying to justify herself. Didn't the design of that dress you entered in the competition directly copy my master's thesis? Do I need to make it any clearer? That thesis was my graduation project in May 2015, and my advisor was, enough. I didn't copy yours, those were all my own original designs. Lily, even though you started designing before me, you can't bully me like this. My paper wasn't published online. And she must have known that, which is why she felt confident enough to argue in public, assuming I had no evidence. What she didn't know, however, was that my paper was selected as an outstanding thesis by my alma mater in the UK, and it's still available on their official website. Let me ask you one more time, is this really your design? Yes, Tess answered decisively, provoking a mocking laugh from Fang Qinxue. I've seen your designs. They're not even up to par with design school undergraduates. How could you possibly create garments of this caliber? Besides, I saw this piece when I was invited to a graduation exhibition at a school in the UK. This is clearly the work of designer Hart. Do you think you can say whatever you want, Miss Fang? Miss Hart, don't bully me just because you're powerful and influential. I'm just a newcomer in the workplace. With just one sentence, she positioned herself as the underdog, making it seem like Fang Qinxue and I were bullying the younger generation. I pulled up the thesis published on my alma mater's official website, and sure enough, it was identical to Tess's competition entry. Fang Qinxue somehow found photos taken during her graduation design performance back then. She said it was her favorite design, so she took Blake many photos of it, which she could still find now. The timestamp showed the year 2015. Tess's face instantly turned pale. Her lips trembled slightly as her gaze darted frantically between the thesis in my hand and Fang Qinxue's photos, desperately searching for any room to argue, but it was all in vain. Whispers began to circulate among the surrounding peers, their gazes fixed on Tess filled with doubt and disdain. I took a step forward, staring directly into Tess's eyes. What do you have to say for yourself now? The evidence is irrefutable. You stole my design and tried to climb over me. In this industry, plagiarism is the most despicable act. Tess's legs trembled slightly as she took a small step back, muttering, I was just drawing inspiration. I loved the idea so much, I never thought I'd get caught. Fang Qinxue snorted coldly, drawing inspiration. This is outright copying. You didn't even make a single alteration. If you had even an ounce of originality, you wouldn't have been exposed so blatantly. Tess saw all the cameras pointed at her and immediately gestured toward Sean on the ground. It was all Blake's idea. He said we wouldn't get caught, and he even helped me find these blueprints. Sean remained lost in grief over his son's death, ignoring Tess's accusations. The crowd's gaze instantly sharpened like arrows toward Sean, and my heart sank. I hadn't expected his involvement in this. Fang Qinxue was even more furious. She stepped forward, grabbed Sean by the collar. You truly stop at nothing, stealing design drafts and even causing Lily to lose her child. You must give an explanation today. Sean finally snapped out of it, his eyes flickering with panic as he stammered, I just wanted to help her, I didn't think it through. His defense was so feeble that the surrounding accusations grew even more turbulent. Several senior figures in the industry shook their heads and sighed. Such behavior is simply tarnishing the reputation of our entire design community. I clenched my fists, nails digging into my palms, struggling to steady my emotions. Sean, To elevate her, you've resorted to unscrupulous means, destroying my hard work. What does all these years of friendship mean in your eyes?" As I spoke, tears still blurred my vision. Tess sensed the situation was turning against her and tried to sneak away, but Fang Qinxue grabbed her firmly, trying to run. "Not so easy. You'll both take responsibility for this disgraceful act." The company executives arrived upon hearing the news, their faces livid, and immediately announced the termination of the contract with Tess, removing Sean from the collaborative project, while promising to give me a fair resolution. But simply firing them isn't enough. Tess's harm to me goes far beyond that. We can set aside the design issue for now, but what about your attempt on my life? How do you explain that? As soon as these words were spoken, the crowd erupted in discussion. Tess's face instantly turned pale. I did borrow from your design, but what's this about attempting your life? I really didn't do that. You can't falsely accuse an innocent person." I sneered. "Innocent? You?" Sean was gradually coming to his senses, looking at us with an expression of disbelief. "Lily, you can't just say things like that casually. What do you mean by attempted murder? Explain yourself clearly. Don't rush, listen to me. Let's see how your wonderful secretary tried to kill me. Have you forgotten about the driver who hit me with that car that day? That day you deliberately turned the steering wheel and crashed into that car. The driver of that car passed out. If it weren't for Ms. Fang and me rushing him to the hospital in time, he probably wouldn't have survived. After he woke up, he told me you bribed him to hit me, promising him a large sum of money, but afterward, you deleted and blocked him, cutting off all contact. Moreover, the force of the impact that day far exceeded what you had agreed upon. You even slammed on the accelerator after the collision, driving straight toward the oncoming driver. Isn't this an attempt to silence a witness by murder?" Tess's body began to tremble violently, her eyes filled with terror and despair. She tried to speak in her defense, but only managed to let out a few weak whimpers. The people around gasped in shock. Looking at her as if she were a vicious criminal, Sean staggered back a few steps, his eyes wide as if he no longer recognized Tess. You really did this." His voice carried disbelief and deep regret. The trusted assistant he once cherished had hidden such a venomous heart. I took a deep breath and continued. "Tess, the evidence isn't just the driver's testimony. Although you destroyed part of the surveillance footage from the scene, the remaining images still clearly show your face. And that transfer record, the police already have it. There's no escape for you." Upon hearing the word police, Tess collapsed to the ground, her face ashen with despair. Fang Qinxue stepped forward, glaring at Tess. "For fame and fortune, you stopped at nothing, plagiarizing designs, and even attempting murder. You deserve to rot in prison." Tess panicked completely and clung to Sean's leg, pleading, "Sean, I did all this for you, just to be with you, don't you remember? You promised to marry me, but Lily stood in our way. By removing her, we could be together forever, couldn't we? Brother Sean, please save me. I don't want to go to jail." Sean coldly shook off her hand. "You didn't do it for me, but for your own desires. At this point, no one can save you." At that moment, the sound of police sirens grew closer, cutting through the chaos at the scene. The officers quickly arrived, showed their badges, and handcuffed Tess as she was taken away. She kept desperately shouting that she was framed, but with the overwhelming evidence, no one would believe her lies anymore. After Tess was taken away, Sean suddenly knelt before me. "Lily, I was wrong. Please forgive me. I know I've committed grave wrongs. I only beg you not to leave me. I'll do anything to make it up to you." I walked past him slowly, no longer wanting to have the slightest connection with him. I've already drafted the divorce agreement. For any related matters in the future, talk to my lawyer. I never want to see you again. After I finished speaking, Fang Qinxue and I left the venue. Later, I heard that despite the commotion that day, my design still won the championship. That's amazing, Lily. I always knew that true talent would shine through. There's an opportunity for further study abroad now. Would you be willing to go? All expenses will be covered by our company. I think you should get away from everything here and take some time to relax. I know your designs will shine brightly no matter where you go. Fang Qinxue placed the invitation in my hand. It was from the Italian Design Institute I had long been anticipating. Thank you. On a certain afternoon while drinking coffee in Italy, I received a call from Fang Qinxue. Lily, I have some good news for you. That Tess was sentenced to over 20 years, probably going to grow old and die in prison. And that ex-husband of yours, Sean, you have no idea how miserable his life has become. Because of his scandal, combined with the current public opinion storm, it has severely affected the Blake Group. Their company went bankrupt a few days ago and is buried under a mountain of debt. I ran into him the other day. He looked so broken and defeated, completely unlike his former self. Hearing this, I felt utterly unmoved, only reflecting on how unpredictable life can be. After some more time had passed, Fang Qinxue forwarded a news article to me. Blake Group went bankrupt, unable to repay its foreign debts. Blake Sean committed suicide by jumping into water. I closed my phone, everything was settled, and the path ahead for me would ultimately be smooth and unobstructed. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So feel free to share your opinions. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great stories. We'll see you in the next video.